Hello. Last time I did the videos about programming in Android, so it's very cool. You can really sit waiting in the car or in the train, and you can develop uh, like web applications or anything else. And this time we're going to talk about using it privately. So I'm going to show you what is the advantage of having a rooted device. What you can do with that, like you can have access to cache of the browser, so you don't have to download images, they are already there cached. And you can convert videos or extract mp3, so music from the video file. And you can do a lot of things. And the device I'm using right now, which I'm using for filming this, is the oldest I could find. So it's Wiko Lenny 2. um, it's double core. So I have a whole bunch of devices octa core, and they are too strong in my opinion. So like for example, if I'm copying a bunch of files, I want to see that how approximately it takes, how much effort it takes, how much calculation power it takes. And on the strong device like that, um, you can really evaluate that. So I really like limited devices, poor uh, computational power devices, because it brings me to good old times when we really felt how a computer works. And this is actually when you root your device, it really becomes a computer. So you can do anything you can do on normal computer. That's pretty much the advantage of that. Apart from that, if you use just a normal device, not rooted, you cannot access those things I'm talking about. So like cache of the web browser and any other applications. You can only access your own application which is running at the moment. So yeah, with this project, not a really project, this is really private time use of your phone, advanced use, which you can do with a rooted device. It's really the advantage, and you really see that it's really worth rooting. But if you root your device, I recommend to you root some secondary device. Don't start rooting your private main device, because it can go wrong. And if even if it doesn't go wrong, you still don't know what is happening. A rooted device is much less secure when it comes to private data, because the tools you are using for the rooting are not really so secure. If you don't trust Google or Facebook with your private data, why would you trust some small team developing this rooting functionality? That's why I recommend just root device, some device you don't really use every day. And then if you like that, you can switch to that. So now I switch to the rooted device, so all my messaging and all my private stuff, everything is now in rooted device. But I didn't start like that. And I use Wiko, French manufactured phone, because it's much easier to root. So I really find them nice when it comes to flexibility. And I never had as easy routing as with the Wiko phones. So I liked them for many years, even though recently I switched to Huawei because of the camera, the best camera in the world. But yeah, with Wiko, with well, this camera, this is like device, I don't know, 5 years old or something. And the camera is still not bad, and this is the front camera. The back camera is probably better, I don't know, I didn't even try that. Yeah, so here we go. Let's do the job with playing with the browsing. And I'm gonna show you how you can access the caching of the uh, everything you just browsed in your device. So let's get hands dirty. First, I'm going to the folder where the cache is stored, and I need to remove all the files from there so I could have only new files. So this is this folder, and the folder on Firefox, and if you use other browser, the cache might be stored in some different place. So here it is in cache 2 folder, and entries, and here in entries are all the files, so I need to remove them so I could only have the new ones. And analyzing how much stuff you got here in folder, yeah, you can understand how much traffic is running back and forth, and if there is somebody sniffing your traffic, what kind of information they have on you. So they have all the resources you accessed, but it's in my opinion this is redundant information, so it's not really useful for tracking. They probably are more interested in web pages or URLs than these kind of resources, but still everything you browse is landing here, and there is some limitation of the size of the folder. So it's not allowed to have it unlimited, otherwise it would be many gigabytes and it will just take all the space, all the storage space on the phone. So it is limited, of course. You can set it up, or you can change in settings of the browser, and I don't even know how much I have here, but as you can see there are a whole bunch of files because it takes a long time to remove them. So once all the files are going to be removed, I'm going to visit a page, and this is going to be a social networking page similar to Facebook. It's Russian Facebook actually. It is vk.com. It was created by Pavel Durov, the same guy who created Telegram, and it's in the same way better than Facebook, as Telegram is better than WhatsApp, because there are much more possibilities there with videos, and there are a whole bunch of even movies there, which if there is no copyright claim, you can just watch the movie or download it. You can do anything the same way like Telegram channels and all the and anonymous possibility to communicate via Telegram is really cool. So getting back to the task, now I'm going to visit Telegram, and so not Telegram, sorry, vk.com. So I type vk, then I go to the first person or first group. Let me just go to some community, some group, not to violate privacy of anybody of my contacts. So the first group I can find, I'm going to visit that, and all the resources gonna be stored on the folder I just showed you. So here is the dating dating chat or something like that. So if somebody wants to date, meet somebody, they can post their pictures, and this is actually the group for that. So I visit that group and just scroll it for 5 seconds, and then I go back to the folder, and all this stuff is gonna be already in the folder. It's very useful if you want to share the picture, then you don't have to download it. It's already, if you visited that, it's already in your device. You don't need to download anything. It's already downloaded. Yeah, but you only can have access to that if your device is rooted. Then you are like on your PC, where you are administrator the same way you are administrator on your device. So I'm going to that folder again, and now I'm going to copy them to some other folder so I could rename them and filter them. So I can filter them by size, by type, by any means. So this button in the bottom, second from the right, AZ, it's sorting, and you can select how you want to sort them. So, but now I'm going to command interface because I want to rename them. So first I navigate to the folder. Yeah, to rename them, I'm going to use just the command to rename a whole bunch of files, because there may be thousands of them. And if I rename them into JPEG, then I can already see previews of the images, so I can really sort the files. You can copy them once and rename them to JPEG, another time rename them to something else, just to filter them out. Yeah, so I rename everything into JPEG, and the rename command is not by default on your device. You have to install Utils-Linux, and then you're going to have rename on your system. But it didn't work. It says it couldn't find. Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think I should understand, really should learn how to use this thing. It understands regular expressions, but I didn't really dig into that. I thought it's similar to Windows rename, when you just write rename and it renames everything. But here it seems that I am going to have to use for loop to rename, because in this particular case it just doesn't rename them. I don't know, there is something I don't understand, and I don't want to. I don't want to learn a command rename. Why would I can do the same thing with the standard loop. So I'm going to type the yeah, I try to I check out if I have already installed the rename, but it's already there. Now I'm going to try some other possibilities. Maybe I can do it without running the loop, because for loop is not really for everybody. I mean, not really uh, friendly for younger generation who are not really using often the commands like we did in the first MS-DOS or Linux. We only had command interface and we had to run everything we want to do. But now when you are really having touch screen and those kind of things, sometimes you just avoid commands. You're just being. So I'm trying. I just create a folder, new folder. Then I move all the stuff into that folder. The message says that you can't. It's when you can't really move the folder into itself. So here's I am in the folder, and now I'm going to try again that command. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna use the loop. So here's the command. By the way, to go back to commands which I already typed, I use the volume button as a modifier, as shift. So volume up is a shift, volume down is control. And there are also arrows just below the cursor, as you can see above the keyboard. You can go up and down, but I'm using the short key, which is volume up. W is up, and volume up S is down. And so I try to change permissions. Maybe it's something to do with permissions, but I don't think so. I think I really have to forget about rename command, and I have to just run the good old for loop. Just a difference between Linux and Windows. In Windows there are many limitations to command line to show of the Linux of the Windows. But renaming files is really convenient in Windows, that I have to admit. Yeah, so once I go back to the folder, here it is, and I'm going to try to move the files by another app. Maybe it has to do something with the permissions when I create the files, when I copy them. Maybe command line modifies the permissions, but I don't really think so. Let me just try that. Yeah, so once I'm going to try that, it's probably not gonna work. Yeah, I'm just copying all the files to a new location, and once they are copied, the owner of the files is already another command. It just was an idea behind what I just did. It's actually a stupid idea, I have to admit. So command, I'm going back to the folder actually I'm going to a new folder which I just created, which is new to not mv2 but nw2. Yeah, I can't really type on that. So nw2, then let me see what's inside, and then I just type again the command rename, and the same result. So it has nothing to do with the location and with which app really copy that. It's just wrong. So after makes a break, I had to really I got back to this, and I just decided to run the for loop. So here we go. I'm typing for f, and then semicolon means actually a new line, because in Linux shell it has to be on the new line, or you have to put semicolons after the list of files. So before do and before done you have to put semicolon. So I move all the files into files plus extension JPEG, so they would be treated by the operating system as a pictures. If you put mp3, they're gonna be treated as sound files, as a music. So before done I put semicolon, and then I run the command, and now they are already pictures. Now I go back to TotalCommander, and if I refresh, here we go, we have all the previews now, because now Android understands that these are the pictures. Now you can do anything you want with them. You can sort them, you can delete those you don't need, you can view them with the image viewer, copy them or send them, share them or via Telegram or WhatsApp, whatever you want to do. So this is the trick of accessing the cache of the web pages you just visited. And the overall size of this is 11 megabytes, and it was just 5 seconds of scrolling in one page.